Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined by the mixologist himself, Mr. Kimoko Julian, and we are here live for the AEW Dynamite recap.
Dynamite!
Man, that was actually a pretty friggin' lit show.
Hey, man, this was not only a good show, the content was really solid. We got some good matches, and some storylines are flowing along pretty nice and easy here.
We got the Punk Rock Jesus in the house. What up, man?
Hello.
Yo, so you were right about that. I think it flowed really well. I mean, the show started off with a pretty decent match. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, your favorite guy, versus Matt Hardy. Honestly, it seemed like this match was very
long.
Yes, I was going to say very drawn out. That's a better word. What's a good throwback?
Well, so was the promo afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that pro, I was like, damn, is this thing still on?
There was a little hint of heel turn. I thought, I got excited because, you know, he was like, see, when he was confronting MJF, he's like, I thought at one point we can be friends.
Come on,
the way they brought it around, you know, it was, man, it was crazy. Hook came down to even out the odds with Ethan Page. A bunch of dives, bunch of kicks. Twist of Fate was blocked to the side effect, super kick. So that jumping reverse STO. Wow.
One of my favorite parts of this match was when Matt Hardy came to the ring and Ethan Page was Jeff Hardy in behind him.
Ethan Page is funny as shit, man.
But like, was that like a sign to Jeff might be returning? Do you think?
Well, I mean, you know, Jeff can't drive for like the remainder of his life.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But that's why he's got his brother.
I mean, I ain't one to gossip or anything like that, but doing
the remainder of his life. Damn.
Yeah. You didn't hear? Probation.
No, I heard.
Life.
No, I remember. Yeah.
Like 20 years or something like that. Was it 20?
So Shane says he's not joining us tonight, but he will be ready for my GM tomorrow. We're going to do a live stream, Punk. Live stream of my GM WrestleMania edition. It's going to be Julian booking his show versus me booking my show. I'm already 11-0 in the booking weeks as the reigning and defending booking champion. That's the reason why I'm the podcast champion, Julian.
Remember, 83 weeks started somewhere.
Yeah, but about that quiz championship, though.
Hey. How about you get silence from me, Punk?
Man, we're kind of playing hot potato with the championship right now.
That championship is bouncing around more than the 24/7 title. I'll tell you that.
We've you know what? We've got to have like an all-star edition.
Jive Owens is going to skyrocket.
I thought you were going to say bouncing around like something completely different. I went into a totally different direction.
It's too early for that.
Like a stripper at a bachelor party? All right, no.
Wow. Sure, let's go with that.
Speaking of bachelor parties, Julian's getting married pretty soon. Really soon.
You know, I'm too mature for those juvenile engagements, man. I'm just going.
We are getting drunk at WrestleMania, right? I have not opened up my Crown Royal just because. Punk's gonna down some fucking milk. It's gonna be gangster.
Bullet ready to go.
Yo, I'm ready. I'm gonna have the bottle here with me. I'm gonna have my snacks over here. We're gonna have a mukbang while we're watching fucking NXT Stand Deliver. Yo, Punk's gonna be down in the leche left and right. Talk about leche.
The what? What am I downing?
Leche, the milk, man.
Leche,
milk.
He's like, wait, what?
Like, I'm straight edge, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Hey, leche is straight as you can get it right from the teeth. Anyway, Jungle Boy Jack Perry wins the match. But the post stage, you know, you see Darby Allin, you see Sammy Guevara in separate places.
Everybody's watching.
You know, so I mean, I think this fatal 4-way is going to be all or nothing, right?
So what was the purpose of this match? Was the purpose of the match to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way?
Well, remember, MJF said,
to qualify
you guys all have to win. Keep winning.
Yeah.
I I feel like it's going to be a fatal 4-way elimination. I feel like that's the way they're going to go.
And MJF's going to be the pussy heel. He's going to hide until the last elimination. Slide in 1, 2, 3. Hey,
but that's smart. I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
The IWGP North American Heavyweight Championship in a 10-man match, 9 people versus me. It's a battle royal, and the last guy has to get pinned. Trust me, I'm gonna throw them up. I'm gonna watch them throw each other over the top rope, slide in. I'm gonna do the straight up.
Is it elimination style match?
It's a battle royal. So the first 8 guys get tossed over. The last 2.
Gotcha. All right.
Over the top rope.
So I'm gonna do the Jerry Lawler. I'm gonna hide under the ring, slide in, grab the tights. 1, 2, 3. From the feel the ropes, remain champion. Boom.
You versus 10 other guys.
Me versus 9 other guys. It's a 10-man.
That's just a regular Tuesday night for Kelly.
Hi-yo.
That's a gangbang for it. Anyway.
Bless you.
Gang violence. So yeah, I mean, you know, this whole thing with Jungle Boy and the pillars, so to speak. I'm not really behind it, but I'm interested to see, because remember how we were discussing how when WWE fandom is always like, oh, AEW is just former WWE guys that can never do anything without being WWE. Well, all these major players are all guys that have not been to the WWE.
Yeah.
I want to point something out. Everyone says that they're all ex-WWE guys. They weren't saying that when WWE was taking on ex-TNA guys.
True.
Not a single.
Not one word. So let me get a promo backstage. Alex Marvez is in a training room with Don Callis and Kenny Omega. Kenny's getting wrapped up. Kenny was like, I didn't ask you to go do anything. Like, Kenny's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I do feel like, and this is just me, I feel like Cyrus the Virus is coming back. Don Callis is going to do some shady shit. And I think Don Callis is going to do a reverse William Regal.
Who, like he said, hey, you know me. Kenny was like,
I do. Like, what are you trying to say, bro? Yeah, that's what I got from it too. What do you think, Punk?
I'd like to see him turn on Kenny, but side with the Bucks. So the Bucks and Kenny will kind of have a thing, and he'd be like the Bucks' manager, and the Bucks will stay heel. Kenny would turn face.
Well, the Bucks being heel, no one really gives a shit about the Bucks being heel.
You're right.
Correct.
You're right. I mean, they're
because even as heels, they wrestle as faces.
They can at least play into what they're getting painted as by half of the audience.
Oh, but that's just it. I mean, I've known the Bucks since day one. Okay, like since the first time they've ever wrestled a match,
really? And
they've always had that what's what I'm looking for here?
Arrogance.
That's just Matt. They have always had this because they're good-looking blonde boys with ponytails. They've always had that Hanson gimmick. Like their first entrance song was Bop by Hanson.
Wow.
Like people fucking hated them because
that is heel music right there.
Oh yeah, it's super heel music, but they were getting
heat. Yeah,
Matt. His first wrestling name was Mr. Instant Replay.
Yep.
Like that screams arrogance all day. Nick was like Slick Nick and Mr. Instant Replay. Like that name screams arrogance. So fans always hated them. Even when they were faces, fans hated them.
Because RVD was the human highlight reel, wasn't he?
Well, but remember, he RVD became like a bigger heel when he became Mr. Monday Night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they started the whole Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View. He also
did show.
He did the whole effing show, but he did the bidding war gimmick too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And he got like super heat from that.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he like CM Punk signing the WWE contract on the fucking.
Ooh,
yeah. on the Ring of Honor title. That was fucking mega heat. That wasn't like go home heat. That was like drop dead heat. You know what I mean? That wasn't go away heat. That was like we wish you died in a fiery car crash type of heat.
I mean, it was because like I in a lot of ways it's like music, right? Music whenever there's a small band that's up and coming, the fan base don't want them to sign to a major record company because they're kind of selfish. Like, you can grow, but only to this glass ceiling. We don't want you to grow out beyond that. And wrestling fans are kind of the same way. We want you to stay independent and not go to the Fed. And that's kind of the similarities with that. And it's always that's why MJF has so much heat right now, because he's like teasing he's going to go over there.
Correct.
And it just works really well.
The whole bidding war of 24 bullshit.
Yes. 24.
In the age of professional wrestling right now, like as we speak, as of right now, professional wrestling is so mainstream that no matter what you do, you're like you got TV stars, musicians, basketball players, football players, motherfuckers that play golf, people that play fucking badminton, like, random ass fucking sports. They're at wrestling shows. You got an owner of a Jacksonville Jaguar who owns a wrestling company. You got The Rock who owns the XFL. Like, everyone wants to be part of professional wrestling now. So
I've always wondered why somebody in basketball didn't declare themselves as injured and then come out and wrestle under a mask. I mean, play basketball under a mask. And
I was watching a video.
Oh, this is the guy that we brought up from Mexico.
he goes like donkeys.
Over from Italy. Yeah, his name is LaRon Jenkins.
LaRon Jenkins.
El Dunko.
Yeah, I mean, even LeBron likes wrestling. Like, LeBron loves it. Someone told LeBron that I was a professional wrestler, and every time I see him, he's like, "You put me in a headlock?" Dude, no, I'm not.
You remember Hogan and Richard Belzer?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I see him at work, right? And I walk into the LeBron James building, and he's there, and he's like, "Hey, it's the wrestler." And I'm like, "Fuck me, man.
I have a name.
Like, I'm a person too." I mean, it's cool that LeBron says things to me like, "Yeah, but I'm a person too." Should I be like, "Oh, it's the basketball player"?
What was your worst fan interaction that you've had in your
worst fan interaction? My kids and I are shopping at Walmart, and this kid follows us around the whole fucking store. Corners my son in the fucking bathroom and says, "Hey, you think your dad will give me an autograph?" That was probably the worst fan interaction. That and my daughter me being stalked, and a person trying to take my daughter from her school too.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
there's a lot of reasons why I keep my private life private.
Yeah.
Mine was I was at a show. We were lumberjacks, and we had the football team. It was Pennsylvania, so we had the football team there, the college team, and we did a spot where the quarterback was going to swing at the wrestler, and one of the guys, and kind of get them involved. That caused a riot.
Oh, shit.
And so we had to do crowd control while also staying in character. I saw a man running at me with a bat. And I'm like, I broke character. I mean, you had to. And I was like, "Listen, this is a show, but if you hit me with that bat, you ain't going to like the result."
Oh, shit, yes.
He backed off. After the show, he found me and was like, "Can you sign this bat?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Go fuck yourself."
I got one even worse. We're doing a show in Seymour, Indiana.
Quick question. Which college was this?
This was, I want to say, Penn State.
Was it the Central Campus?
Oh, I had no idea.
Tried Julian with the bat.
Was it your
No, I was
the guy? No, you weren't the guy.
I went to when I was at Penn State, I went to an indie show, and there was a group on campus that was like the Army of Don Knotts. And
Wait, how long ago was this?
This was in 2000.
Okay, no. Are you kidding me?
The
No.
Army of Don Knotts. I
Yes.
can't even with you right now.
And they came out and they had these signs, and they were like protesting kind of the wrestling match. And if you're in Pennsylvania, I'm sure you if this guy's still around, Richard Criado, The Perfect Creation. But he was doing the indie show. I mean, he was doing the indie show there at the school, like, because he was a student there also. And he was like, "Look, dude, just give me this." I was like within earshot. He was like, "Give me the sign so I can hit my opponent with it, or I'm gonna shove it up your ass."
We're like, "Here you go, sir. Take the sign."
I was like, "All right, here you go."
This was in 2015.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
the worst thing that's ever happened to me during the match, though, during the actual show, was I'm wrestling this guy, Seymour, Indiana, for NWA Supreme. This guy, Jim Justice or Johnny Justice or some shit like that, right? Big face. He's the big super face, big baby face in the group, right? But he's also a fucking cop. So he's like, I'm beating the shit out of this guy, right? And we start brawling outside the ring, and there's like these risers. And we're fighting up the riser, and this little kid has a sign that says, "Bad blood sucks." And I grabbed it, and I fucking ripped it and threw it down in front of her. And I'm like, "You suck," right? So we're at the top of the riser fighting. He's like, "Throw me down." Fuck it, okay. So I throw him down the riser. The little kid is screaming in front of him as he rolls down. And I'm beating up in front of the kid. I'm like, every time you open your mouth, I'm going to punch this guy. And I'm punching him. And the mom was like, "You better fucking stop." And I'm like, "Shut up, you fat bitch." And I'm punching him, right? So she goes, "I'm going to fuck you up. I said, "Catch me outside, bitch. How about that?" Right? That was the first night.
Okay.
So the second night is a rematch. We're like 2 cities away. And we're doing the same spot. I see the little girl again. I'm like, "Oh, hell yes." So I walk up to her, and she has another sign, and I rip it up, and I'm stomping on it in front of her. And the lady goes, "You son of a bitch, you blah, 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 you suck." And I said, "If I suck, you swallow, bitch," right? So I'm beating the shit out of this guy. Same spot, throw him another thing, curb stomping right in front of the little girl. She's screaming. The lady goes, "I'm going to fuck you up. I'm like, "You wish you could fuck me. I'm too much of a man for you, you fat cow." I'm going off on this lady. I'm fucking shitting down her throat, right? So the match is over. I won the match. I walk up to her and I flip the belt like I'm ripping out my penis. I flip the belt right in her face, and I'm like, "You can suck on that, bitch. The champ is here." And I walk out.
Damn.
Later on, this was like the semi-main event. The main event goes on. It's over. We're outside talking, right? After the show, we're outside talking. All of a sudden, I hear, "You motherfucker." And I turn around and she pepper sprays me, bro. She did some fucking, she jumped over the car like it was fucking Fast and Furious. She stood on the hood and pepper sprayed my ass, right? Now keep in mind, this is Seymour, Indiana. We were in, our hotel was in Louisville, Kentucky.
Where?
Seymour, fucking Indiana.
I think it's senior citizen Indiana.
Our hotel room was in Louisville, Kentucky, which was 75 miles away.
What?
And I was on fire this whole fucking time. These idiots, I'm screaming like, "Oh my God," they threw water on me. I'm like, "No fucking water." You don't throw water on pepper spray. It's in the cellar. It made it worse. I literally had to bathe in like 7 gallons of fucking milk to get it out. That was the worst thing that ever happened to me, bro.
And you didn't share any milk with me.
Sorry, man. That let you had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But I've learned 2 things about that. 1, don't talk shit to people in Indiana. 2, don't talk shit to people in Indiana. They have mace.
You know what's crazy? Seymour, Indiana, along the 65 freeway, is like equally distant between him, Indianapolis, and Louisville.
Yes.
You're fucked.
I was look. It was so bad. Me and the 2 guys that I was going with,
Like
these motherfuckers were like, "We're in the back roads of this place, right? We're in the back roads of this place, and these motherfuckers, two black guys and a white guy, right? we see this fucking farmhouse with the Confederate flag in the middle of a fucking cornfield. And they were like, hey, let's go take a picture. I'm like, we're black.
We're not doing this.
You see a fucking red farmhouse with a Confederate flag and lights surrounding it. That's a Klan rally. I'm not getting out of this fucking car. So these guys were like, we're going to take a picture. I'm like, you guys got 2 minutes. They jumped out of the car. I fucking took off. They're running down the street. Wait. I was like, hey, man, I'm not trying to end up on a tree.
Jesus.
Hey, you all watched the X-Files, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the X-Files.
Hey, you remember the episode with the Peacock family?
Mm-hmm. I hate peacocks too.
The inbreds with the mom under the bed?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. The reason why that episode was so scary is because I saw it when I was at Penn State in State College, PA.
And that was down the street around the corner from school.
Where they filmed it, I was like,
that should look familiar.
familiar. So, yeah, if you was in Seymour, Indiana, I'm sure you probably saw the same kind of setups out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be heading back out to Seymour, Indiana this summer, but I won't be going past that goddamn place again.
Just make
sure. Same promotion, by the way, too. Same promotion, by the way, too. So, yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more of this crazy show we call Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Back. See, Julian's over there getting his little mukbang on.
Yeah, I've got something to send you. Yeah, I'm gonna send this over to you.
Oh shit. Oh man, is it
not like that, but
so yeah, so we'll go back to from a commercial break. We get a vignette with 2.0 taking the Acclaim Daddy ass out to try to butter them up to join the Jericho Appreciation Society, which I thought
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Funny. Yeah, it's really funny. But then we got a match that really just took place in, I think it'll last about 5 minutes. The Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta taking on Dalton, Castle, and the boys.
Man,
this was pretty much a squash match.
Pretty much.
But here's my problem with this. And this is where the bad booking comes in. Dalton, Castle, and the boys are challenging for the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships this Friday night.
Yep.
Brian Cage's contract.
Maybe went out like suckers.
Brian Cage's contract is up. He's a free agent, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to lose the Ring of Honor World Tag Team, the 6-man tag team belts. So you literally just had 3 guys get their shit kicked out of them, and then you're going to put belts on Friday?
Yes.
This is where the bad booking comes in. I mean, bad booking's in here.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of bad booking. I criticize Tony Khan all the time as bad booking, but this is bad. This is really bad. Like, you basically just buried your future Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions.
Yeah, that is kind of bad.
You're basically saying that Ring of Honor, in my opinion, now isn't even NXT. It's NXT level up.
Unless he's thinking it's like a Money in the Bank 2011 situation where Brian Cage was signed like hours before the show or something.
Well, we shall see. So
Maybe
going back to I need to get this real quick. Going back to the Kenny Omega situation with the Bucks and Hangman and Page and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But just the whole ambulance thing where they got taken out last week. You know the reason why they got taken out last week is because Matt actually hurt his tore his bicep.
How long is it gonna be out for?
You can be out for 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
Wow.
Like it's pretty. But he opted out of surgery, so surgery can be 7, 8, 9, 10 months. It can be like having a baby.
Okay.
So shout out to some well wishes to Matt Massey, Matt Jackson, whatever you want to call him this week. Shout out to Matt. Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli. We got the world champion, the pure champion, and former AEW world champion John Moxley. Totally destroying Dalton Castle and the boys.
Choke the shit out of him.
I feel bad for Brent Tate, one of the boys, because he took that spot from Claudio off the top rope.
Yep.
But I mean, are we surprised that it was that level of a squad? Are we really like shocked? Is it? Really
I'm not shocked, but I'm kind of disappointed because he hit that Ricola bomb and that was it, bro. It was Brandon Tate, not bro.
It was a wrap.
Yeah, that was that Ricola bomb. That was it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Then we get a video package. Kenny Omega, hyping up his match with Jeff Cobb, friend of the channel, homeboy Jeff Cobb, the homie. Then we get Hangman Adam Page backstage for the interview, and lo and behold, here comes Don Callis. Don Callis, he says, "Hey, he saved the Bucks." He said Nick has a separated shoulder, Matt has a partially torn bicep. So basically, he blames the Blackpool Combat Club for attacking him. Don Callis rolls up like, "Yo, I was embarrassed from last week, man. Truly sorry. I don't want to get between you guys. Once again, I sincerely apologize." And they went to shake hands. And before Adam Page's hand can reach Callis, the Blackpool Combat Club comes out and they beat the shit out of Hangman Adam Page. But then Don Callis was like standing there just chilling, watching for like a good 2 minutes.
Not his problem.
Yeah, Also, that'd be like Percy Pringle fighting the Blade Runners. Like what? Hey, are you gonna
know me? Me.
Why would you do that?
It don't concern me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I got no horse. Yeah.
I got no horse. I got no horse in this race. You know what I'm saying? So hey, whatever.
Shit, this ain't even the right track with the track. 3 cities that way.
They attacked Callis, and he slapped the glasses off Callis' face. And when the camera panned back, Callis was a bloody mess. 2 things happened in this promo that it made me excited. 1, Moxley didn't bleed. 2, he made somebody else bleed because Callis bled like a stuffed pig. It was pretty bad.
I mean, Tony Khan compared Jericho and Moxley to Ric Flair and Sting, and if Moxley to Ric Flair, that makes sense because they both bleed from what Julian was sneezing.
So you're saying that Jericho and Sting?
That's the only part that doesn't make sense because he is.
So in a situation that was pretty fucked up, Kenny Omega has been, and any professional wrestler knows when I make a roll, don't bother me. I'm trying to get into my Mac. I'm trying to get mentally into it. Tony Schiavone walks up and was like, "Yo, man, Don Callis and Hangman Page got beat up. And Kenny was like, Don got beat up? Oh, shit. Okay, look, I got to go, man. I got a match. Like, I got a match. I don't give a shit. I got a match.
Oh, shit, that's crazy. Oh,
yeah, pretty much. But we then have the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match. Kenny Omega, the champion, versus the United Empire's Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is a former Olympic wrestler. He represented Guam in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Cobb is a cool motherfucking dude. Wrestled for BCW a couple times. Good friend of the channel. I've known Jeff Cobb a long ass time. Very solid guy. Very solid match. Jeff Cobb and Kenny Omega. This was a fucking good match.
This was a good match, and people are always going to compare it to like, oh, but last week we had Kenny Omega versus Vikingo and whatever. But this was a good match on its own. It stands on its own. At least 3.5 stars, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was an excellent match. It was fun.
The last week match, it was a good visual match. Visually, yes. It was a really good visual match. But and Blood, I'm sure you understand this. What was the story in the ring? They didn't really have a story to tell.
So, we always talk about that. What were the stakes? What was the reason for it? What was the story behind it? And it's AEW being AEW. We're just going to put on this great match between these two great competitors that are going to give you a lot of visual for you to go ooh and ah over. Is there really a story behind it? Not much, unless you follow AAA. You've been following like New Japan for the last year. I mean, there's always some reason behind it. So this was a rematch, but there's always like some reason behind it. But a lot of people just,
I can tell you why this match happened.
Wrestling fan memory.
I'm not even talking about like a storyline. I'm talking about the story within the match.
Yeah. I knew exactly what you meant. This is why the story happened. When Kenny Omega was the belt collector, he was the AAA champion.
Yep.
And he got injured. He had to relinquish the AAA championship. But at Triple Mania, right before he had to relinquish the title, he was defending the title against Vikingo. So that match was built up as being like the best bout machine versus the future of wrestling. Because Vikingo's like 25, 27 years old. He's young.
Mm-hmm.
So with this match that was going to go on, that was going to be like a passing of the torch, so to speak.
Yep. So
that match never happened. And since it never happened, AAA was like, well, we need to have a new Triple Mania, a AAA Grand Champion, whatever the fuck the title was called. So they did the match, and and it was a fatal 4-way. Vikingo won the title, and Vikingo had been saying ever since he won the title, he wants Omega. He wants Omega. He wants Omega. He's been saying it everywhere. I want Omega. I want Omega. AEW gave us the match, Kenny Omega versus Vikingo. In the match, Vikingo being the upstart, like to the match before the match even started, just attacked Kenny. So that shows that he's hungry and he wants to win. He wants to beat he wants to beat the best bout machine. Every time Kenny came up with something, Vikingo came up with a counter. Vikingo did so many things that you had to like literally sit on your hands to not get too excited. Like there was so much stuff going on, At the end, it was like the upstart rookie getting smashed by the vet. Like Kenny fought back from behind, and boom, he won the match. Two things about that match that I didn't like. One, Vikingo came down as a AAA Mega Champion, but Kenny wasn't even announced as IWGP United States Champion. Didn't have a belt, nothing. So there was no representation there. It should have been for the title. It should have been for the AAA Mega Championship. But that's the match that they wanted so bad. It should have been a championship match. Like Vikingo versus Commander at Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view for the AAA Mega Championship. That's another match on Ring of Honor. I'm excited for that. So
here's why it wasn't for the time. Kenny Omega was not putting him over.
Of course not.
That's why it wasn't for the, and that's why it was in AEW. Because if it was in AAA or for the title or both, he wasn't going to put him
It
over.
should have been for the IWGP United States title thing. If that was the case. They should have spotlighted me. If I'd booked that show, I would have spotlighted as champion versus champion. It could have been non-title.
Correct me, isn't there heat between New Japan and AAA? I thought there was.
There is.
That's why. That answers everything. That answers why.
I book shit. I put asses in seats. I don't care about people's drama.
Oh yes.
Drama, controversy breeds cash. That's why that's why CM Punk's gonna return to AEW. Controversy creates cash. Even Jim Ross said that. And Jim Ross knows shit. So
he does, but also Eric Bischoff said it, and that kind of makes me think it. Maybe that's why his book was called, and I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. So after Kenny Omega retains the IWGP United States Championship, the Blackpool Combat Club circle the ring, and we have been talking about this on the channel for a while. We were like, okay, we got the Bucks and Kenny, and then we got Hangman, so that's 4 people. But the Blackpool Combat Club only have 3. And then Julian, in his wisdom, said, what about Bryan Danielson? And I said, what about Bryan Danielson? He said, what if Bryan Danielson comes back? Then we got on the Tenoshi to catch the thing. But honestly, no one expected Bryan Danielson to run to the ring and save Kenny Omega except for me. Because what did Bryan Danielson do when he said he signed with AEW? What were 3 things he wanted? He wanted to have a lighter schedule. He wanted to work with the young guys. And he wanted to compete in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way for him to compete in Japan? By becoming the IWGP United States Champion.
Yep.
The American Dragon and the Land of Rising Sun.
Bryan Danielson versus Shibata. Bryan Danielson versus fucking
Okada.
Naito. Okada. Like, come on, man. We got, boy.
I would love to see him in the G9, though.
Him versus Sonata. Him versus Sonata will be fucking beast. Him versus Will Ospreay probably would be great
Suzuki.
too. Yeah, shit, yes. Him versus
Zack Sabre.
Yep, Zack Sabre Jr. That's another match that we've been dying to have. I hate Zack Sabre Jr. He's a fucking arrogant
Really?
shit. He's an arrogant fucking shit, dude.
Is he?
Yeah, I just can't stand him. There's something about him. Just makes
It's okay. I hate Chris Masters, so it's all right.
Wow.
Wow.
I got stories about Chris Masters. We can talk
Me
about
too.
that.
He's a clumsy fuck.
You know who's a clumsy fuck? Mystico.
Oh, yeah.
Sin Cara. Literally, I wrestled Sin Cara in Chicago 2 months after he left WWE. And this guy comes to me and tells me about 900 fucking moves he wants to do in this match. And as soon as the bell rang, forgot every fucking one of them.
Wow.
Who was baby? Who was heel?
I was heel. I'm always heel.
It's your fucking match.
Oh, I beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Trust me. I beat the shit out of him.
okay. I'm peeling back the curtain. Those of you who don't know, heels typically run the match.
80% of the match.
Yeah, unless you're like John Cena or something, then yeah.
Yeah. Then there's no 80% of the match.
Well, I was never a heel.
You guys will see at WrestleMania. Trust me. Austin Theory ain't getting shit in.
Yeah. I was way too green to be heel. I was way too. I think I've had I had maybe 30 matches. Maybe
Before you became heel?
no, I never turned heel.
Really?
I stopped before.
Shit, I love being heel.
My name here, the punk, that was meant to be my heel gimmick. It was very much like, because in real life I'm an atheist, so I was going to use that as to my advantage and kind of be like, I'm here, I exist, I'm Jesus type of thing. I did.
It's like, fuck.
I'm sorry for those. I'm sorry for those that are.
Trust me, Julian has a story about me wrestling a priest. Trust me.
Oh no, I'm sorry about those who's religious out there. You do you. Whatever your path to happiness in life, cool. This is a character though. But my first day of training, we did promo class, and Tommy Dreamer was my trainer. He was sitting in the bleachers. It was at the Manhattan Civic Center, and in Poughkeepsie, which is where I live. He was sitting in the bleachers. We did promo class. Everyone did like one. I'm an overachiever. I wanted to do 2, one heel, one face. I did the heel one. There was people sitting on the ring like they do. I had a Bible. I whipped it out and did my, very, very bad. It was a terrible promo, but I was trying to get as much in it as I could.
Like I said, it was a very, very bad promo.
Of course, it was my first promo. Of course, it's going to be shit. Of course. But are you kidding? I was even like I think I mentioned like some other people, which you don't do, but I mentioned like legends and stuff, which you're not, you don't do it. Within reason. But I whipped out a Bible and I was like, this means nothing, and I set it on fire, and everyone on the ring was like, shit, move. Like, and Tommy's like, I love that.
Shout out to Throwback. Good night, buddy. Bro, Jesus Christ.
I was so great. I didn't understand. I was like, all right, let's be extreme and as piece of shit as possible, not knowing there's different kinds of heat. Like there's the fuck this guy heat and turn the channel heat and not buy a ticket heat. I didn't understand that.
Oh, I got some heat like that in Mexico. We'll talk about that after here.
Oh yes, the Mexico story.
Yeah, hey, but Julian, tell them about the preacher match.
Dude, this is so great. So when you put as much effort into your gimmick as some people do, this dude had the white robe. He was preaching the hand of God. I think his finishing move was the right hand of God, wasn't it?
Kind of like
he had this beautiful sculpted ram's horn that he blew in the ring, like, the ram's horn that blew down the walls of Jericho and all that.
Right.
Bad Blood shit on this guy so bad. Talking about him, that's not a priest robe you're wearing, it's a skirt. Don't be coming to my ring in a dress. I actually have an animated video of him baptizing this dude with a bottle of water outside the ring, just like spraying him right in the face.
Yo, that's some gangster shit.
Yo.
And it was great, man. It was great. But you see someone take such care in their gimmick, and then Bad Blood just came out there and just like tearing them up about it. And I was laughing because I'm like, fuck, this dude's the heel, but goddamn, this is hilarious. And oh yeah, it got a great reaction.
The worst part about it though, like okay, so I told him
yeah, like in real life, the dude's like really a youth pastor.
Yes, he's a real pastor. He challenged me for the belt, and I grabbed the mic and I'm like, thou shalt not covet shit that don't belong to you. I said, in the Bible, it says this. Here you are coveting my championship. Thou shalt not covet shit that doesn't belong to you. Then I hit him with the bottle of water, and when he was on the ground, I said, oh, my brother, testify.
Oh, my brother, testify.
Oh, man, the crowd went crazy for it. But the part I liked most about it was when I punked the little kid. There was a little kid, kept talking shit throughout the whole match. Every time I do something, I go right to the kid and talk shit. He's great. But yeah, so Bryan Danielson turns on Kenny Omega and reforms the Blackpool Combat Club. So now it's 4 against Kenny.
Oh man, it was so great. When Bryan came in, it was like, "Hey guys, whoa, back off!" I was like, "Yes."
We both were like, "What? Heel turn?" It was funny because the fans were all, "Yes, heel turn." Yes, and then he said, "No."
They basically gave that away with the with that video package where he's like, I think I'm just gonna go home and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm like, okay, he's turning heel. Like it's
but it was funny because when he came in the ring, he was like, you get out, and Mox was like, fuck it, okay. Like Mox literally said, fuck it, okay, and he jumps off the apron.
Yeah,
and they were still there, and then he goes over and he reaches his hand down, and I typed in our group chat, heel turn. And he picks him back up, and the crowd was going, yes, 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 yes. And then he turned around, no. Hit him with the knee, boom. Yeah.
He baited him with it too.
It was great.
He's becoming like the Big Show. for AEW with the heel turn flipping flopping.
But he never. But see, here's the thing, and me and Julian talk about this all the time. Are the bad guys really are the bad guys really the bad guys?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because I've never once lied in a promo. I just tell people how it is. People don't like it. They boo me.
So you're doing the Bret Hart thing.
Hey, I'm Canadian, so why not?
Dude,
Shit.
the funniest thing to me was when people were like, "Oh, are the Blackpool Combat Club going to turn heel?" I was like, "They've been heels. They started off as heels. If you have a group and the only way to get in that group is to get your ass kicked, you're a heel group.
That's a gang. I'm from LA, bro. That's a gang. You get jumped in.
Jump in, jump out. That is a gang. They're heels. They've been heels.
I'm excited.
So like, oh, they're turning heel. Like,
I'm excited to see the new heel that we don't really see that often. The overly aggressive, violent heel instead of the cowardly heel that everyone defaults to.
We've been seeing that from day one. When Moxley pulled a fork out and stabbed the motherfucker in the head, you knew.
Yeah,
that's true. But I mean, they've been. Didn't they feud with like MJF and they feuded with MJF and everything. So let
me tell you about how. Let me tell you heels. Okay, I had a group called the Faction. We were all bad guys. Guess what we did? We beat up everybody. Good guy, bad guy. We didn't give a shit. We beat up everybody. That's a heel. Now, people say, "Oh, that's a tweener." No, motherfucker, that's a heel. A tweener is a heel trying to be cool. No, we're just dudes that just like to beat people up. If you come after something we got, we're gonna beat your ass. If you got something we want, we're gonna beat your ass. Face or heel, it doesn't matter. That's a perfect heel. Guys like, oh, I'm a bad guy, so I'm only gonna challenge Darby Allin or John or Jungle Boy, or I'm gonna challenge this guy, but I'm gonna be friends with MJF because he's a bad guy.
Yep.
Fuck that, MJF got a belt. I want that belt too. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, and I've always wondered like why, like WWE books it that way. For example, like
because WWE wants heroes and villains,
and WCW did the same shit too for a while.
I don't know. The NWO beat up everybody.
Yes, and then the NWO Red and Black, and then they were like, "Oh no, we can't have this. Let's just have," and it became
there were too many members of the NWO.
Fucking mess.
A faction is great when it's like 4 or 5, not fucking 30. That's not a faction. That's an army. It's a small town in Haiti. That's the fuck that is.
Yeah, they pay Hulk Hogan taxes.
Yeah, exactly. So let me get a promo from the Ass Boys, cutting in a mock promo on the FTR, taking 19 years to get to their
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence because I think I'm being played. I don't like being played. I don't like no one stroking me and jerking me off. I mean, I do, but you know what I'm saying. I don't like that in my wrestling. I don't like that in my wrestling. FTR, I think FTR is staying. There's too much for them. There's too much for them here in AEW.
Speaking
remember,
of,
you remember a promo they did about 4 months ago.
Yep.
They were asked why they stayed with AEW instead of going back to WWE. They said because they want to work indie shows. They want to get back to the grassroots of wrestling. They want to go work in Japan. They want to do all this cool shit. Guess what? You can't do that shit under fucking WWE.
Correct.
So that's a telltale sign right there that they are not going back to fucking WWE.
Speaking of Blood, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you tag Dax Hardwood in that your retweet?
Oh, because I've been talking to Dax on the down low.
Oh, okay, because I was like, is he going to be on the podcast? Like, that's what's going on?
You'd be amazed at who watches this podcast, man.
I'm sure, but I'm just like, fuck. Like, is he
coming?
No, like on the pod. Like, I thought he was going to be on this podcast. I was like,
I sent him a message and I said, hey, man, you probably should. You probably want to watch some wrestling trivia since you're a old school guy. We're doing WWE WrestleMania. He goes, your show's funny, bro. Yeah, I'll do it. So I tagged him.
Shit.
We have WWE now. We have WWE writers that watch this show.
Yes,
AEW people who watch this show. Like, we'll say something on the show 2 weeks later, you say I'm wrong.
I know one of my wrestling crushes watches the show, and you got her to sing Happy Birthday.
Oh, you mean Nikita Lyons?
Yep.
Yeah, she's a good friend.
Yep. She seems like a total sweetheart too.
Okay, so I'll tell you straight up about her. I met her years ago when she was wrestling for a while, and she sent me a message the weekend of the WWE tryout in Vegas, and she was like, "I'm really nervous about doing it. I haven't told anybody I'm doing it." And I was like, "You're gonna fucking kill it because you kill everything you do." This girl gets up 5 a.m. She was working. She was working at Mayweather's boxing gym. Like she was teaching boxing. She's a martial artist. She's a rapper. She's a singer. She literally does so much fucking shit, dude. And she's the most positive person you'll ever meet. Someone that gets up at 5 a.m. and they bust her ass all fucking day, all night. She grinds hard. So when she was the first person that Triple H signed, I was so ecstatically over the moon for her. And I was like, yo, I want to have you on the podcast. And she was like, I want to be on the podcast. So I had her on the podcast. And then I was like, hey, I got one song you're talking about dropping. You want to drop it on the show? She was like, can I? Fuck yeah. She's been on a couple times, actually.
Yeah, she's and I see people kind of like put her in the same group as like Dana Brooke, where she's pretty, but she's not good in the ring. And I'm like, are you kidding? Have you seen her match? Like even if she wasn't great in the beginning, she improved a lot.
She's been wrestling like 5 years. Dude.
She worked her ass off.
She's had maybe like 50 matches in her career before she got signed in WWE.
Oh, shit.
Someone so more. Yeah, and she's young. She's really young. And she's just a really good person. And I like all the toxicity that people are throwing her way. That shit made me mad.
Yeah. It sucks when like sweet people like that get like attacked for no reason.
And she's the most genuine. Like when I told her Shane's birthday was coming up, she was like, "Ooh, what can I do? What can I do?" And I was like, "What do you want to do?" She was, "Let me sing a happy birthday." And I was like, "All right." She was like, "I'll send it to you on Snapchat." And she did it on Snapchat.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, let's do this." So I downloaded Snapchat, and boom, there it was.
Not even a cameo.
No, yeah, exactly, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't charge me for that shit.
No, she seems like a total sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a really like I said something on Facebook the other day about real brothers, like the word brother that in this industry. Like people use the word brother all the time, but quite honestly, half the motherfuckers that use the word brother don't understand what the brotherhood's all about. So.
And let's wish her a speedy recovery too, because she's out with an injury.
Get back in the ring as soon as possible.
Yeah, she's been rehabbing really quick, dude. Like she's back to wearing Jordans, which is good.
Oh, no.
There you go. It's a good indicator.
She's a sneaky girl like me. Anyway, so the Butcher versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. Pretty decent match. The Butcher beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy hit the Slumdog Millionaire. Hit the beach break for the win. Retained the championship. We got a shitty ass promo from Jay Cargill.
Cut the shit.
Yeah, I'm so tired of it. We got a funny promo from Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Who cut a promo on Action Andretti, which I thought he was injured. I thought Action Andretti was injured, but I guess he's making it.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. He said he's gonna kick Ricky Stark's ass in New York, so we'll probably see Ricky Starks win. Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale. I love my girl Willow. I'm a little upset about certain things though.
Mm-hmm.
If Julian is in a match and Julian be getting jumped by people, me and Shane gonna come to ringside with Julian so he don't get jumped. We're not gonna wait until after the match is over till you didn't got your ass whooped for like 5 minutes, and then Jeff Hardy it down to the ring. Stop it. Just please
Jeff
stop
Hardy
it.
Down to the ring. Yep.
If your friend is getting beat up, don't hesitate to go save him and or her. Okay? This is stupid. Ruby Soho fucking covers her, like choking Willow Nightingale, like beating the shit out of her. They get in the ring. They're gonna fucking start spray painting her. They give her the Death Valley Driver. All of this shit. They're beating the shit out of her. The Outcasts are smashing.
But
Sky
here
Blue,
comes the baby faces.
Yeah, Sky Blue and Riho come. Okay, they get beat up, and then here comes my girl Jamie Hayter, and I swear to God, dude, that clothesline Jamie was gonna throw. God damn, she swung that clothesline so hard. When she missed, she damn near threw herself out of the ring. She was gonna take somebody's head off with that clothesline.
That was more of a lariat.
That was a haterade. That was some haterade right there. Boy. She calls it the hate breaker. Yeah.
Still to this day, I don't know why JBL calls it clothesline from hell. It's a fucking lariat. It takes your head off. Like, come on.
I mean, yeah. But commentary hypes up the fact that we're gonna have this match. We get a video. Hype reel for Powerhouse Hobbs. And then we get a really lackluster main event.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Kenny Omega match probably should have been on.
That should have been your
main event. But then you got Adam Cole versus Red Death, Daniel Garcia. And both wrestlers haven't wrestled for a while.
Yeah, and I think the whole reason why this was the main event was because you haven't seen both guys in such a long time. So it's like, give them the big pop and the Adam Cole, baby, and like we saw the celebration at the end with the
Brent.
But I would argue that should open the show.
I know why they did that. They did that as the last match so it can be a segue to that stupid All Access show.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's on right now. Because the All Access show is basically about him coming back and about what's going on backstage. Like, who fucking cares?
Is that like Cody Rhodes having the last match so they can go to Rhodes to
Remember how I used to do that? Cody Rhodes was last match, and you'd be like, "Oh man, this match happened."
Who's next for Rhodes?
Petting Pharaoh. Then all of a sudden, it's like a commercial, and then here he is, petting Pharaoh.
I'm just gonna go on. I care that Adam Cole came back. I care. I'm glad he's healthy. I do. I think we all could say we care about that.
Of course.
But no. Why do we have to have a diary, a visual diary about it? Or like,
you know what? So you got to admit. So I have friends who know that I'm a wrestling fan and they know about wrestling because of me. If they weren't at my house, they wouldn't watch WrestleMania or SummerSlam or any other pay-per-view unless they're at my house. However, they do watch A&E biographies. And they call me afterwards like, "Oh, I remember when you were talking about this, talking about that. Oh, this is so interesting. Oh, this is so good." And so this is, it's that kind of show that I'm sure there's a certain percentage of fans that it brings into the main product.
Mm-hmm.
And with AEW being so young, a lot of this reflective material or reality or biographical information is so still new and fresh. Like, for example, Adam Cole in the documentary looks the same as Adam Cole does on AEW TV versus when they're talking about the NWO, you see Scott Hall and Hogan and Kevin Nash, and you're like, "Oh, that was a while ago."
Well, when you say that they watch the biographies, did they used to be wrestling fans and then they kind of fell out? Okay.
No, they would watch wrestling if they were at my house, or they always heard me talking about wrestling or saw things I would post or whatever. And so peripherally, they knew about wrestling. My female friends all knew who Stone Cold was because they thought he looked so sexy with that big neck and that gold chain. And of course, the
really?
And
I got The Rock. I heard a lot of The Rock growing up, but I never heard Stone Cold.
All right, funny story. My mom my mom knew I watched wrestling from when I was a kid, and she was like, "I don't understand why you watch this stuff. It's just stupid." Anyway, it was a Friday. I picked up the kids. I came home, and my mom goes, "Quick, turn on UPN. There's a big Indian guy choking a little Mexican guy wearing a mask."
Jinder Mahal, Rey Mysterio.
Funny story, the guy that's having the party that I'm going to Friday, he was real young when that happened, and he cried because he thought he killed him.
And so I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not Great Khali. That's Rey Mysterio. Da 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 da. The next week, oh my God, turn on UPN. The big Indian guy is choking the little Mexican guy again. Why isn't anyone coming out to help him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Mom, this is a storyline. That we got a pay-per-view coming up and they're going to blow off the feud. And right now they're just building up to it. Da, da, da. So third week, same thing. She calls me again. The big Indian guy is beating up the little Mexican guy again. And I'm like, hey, Mom, so they're going to have the blow-off match at, I forget which pay-per-view was, SummerSlam, something like that. And I was like, but see, I said, that's how Vince gets you. I said, he waits for a casual observer like yourself to see this on TV. You see it once and you're like, oh shit, I wonder what's going to happen next week. And so you tune in again and again. And then eventually you buy the pay-per-view because you want to see what's going to happen. And you're like one out of millions of people. But if he gets that one extra pay-per-view buy, you're probably like one of hundreds, and it adds up. And that's how he makes money. So she's like, he's not getting my pay-per-view money. No, I'm not paying for this. This is ridiculous.
Sure enough, she was in front of that TV watching it, wasn't she?
Sunday. Are you getting the pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting her money, getting your money.
Exactly.
My wife did. She just went through something similar. She used to watch from like the Attitude Era to like 2010-ish. And we just watched the Rumble because I may not like WWE, and we didn't even watch all of the Rumble, but like I may not like WWE, but I love the Rumble. I fucking love the Rumble. And this one was disappointing because there was no really surprise entrance. But we watched the Rumble. She gave little Nick. I think she gave Liv Morgan the nickname Tracks because she had hair tracks. Shit like that.
Wow.
Oh shit. She was like, that bitch tracks.
So she recognized Natalia and everything, but when it came, we watched 4 matches. We watched we watched 3.5. We watched the 2 Rumbles, half of the Bray Wyatt, which she loved Bray Wyatt, and she's like, oh, this man fucks. But she liked it, but then it was the lighting. We were just like, this lighting fucking sucks. Like, let's just, so we watched like I think Ella and I got thrown onto the table. And then we saw the main event with Sammy and Roman. She was so invested at the end of that. At first, she was like, but she became so invested at the end. Like, pretty much what you described over the span of a month happened in like the span of like 20 minutes. It was so.
Dude, so at some point, and before the Rumble, they did the whole recap package, right? Of the whole
we didn't see
the whole Sammy and the Bloodline thing.
We didn't see that part. That we've switched channels.
That would have sucked her in. She would have just been like,
she got sucked in with the roses and everything. Like she got
yeah.
And as soon as they handcuffed Owens, I was like, okay, I know what's happening. Yeah. But she was like
I called it. I was like, this is about to happen. Yeah. I even said it. I said they're going to do this, this, and this, and Sammy's going to be like, nah, bro, stop.
I was like, they're not going to do the XPW thing with the Messiah.
Yeah. No,
they were not doing. I was like, okay, so that's.
We will talk about Messiah off the air. You can tell I'm old, man. I've been in business a long time. I know all this shit. I'll tell you some shit that you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the AEW recap. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow, I believe, for predictions, warfare, and my PM.
Possibly. Possibly.
Yes. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Roundtable Person Podcast. For that punk down there, for that mixologist up there, from this franchise, we will see you guys when we see you. Enjoy your night.